Hey, I'm on a little early. Getting ready to get started in about 2 minutes. We get these things together. Make sure I got everything lined up. See if I can get you on so I can see your comments. Set this up and go to Principles on the Come Up so we can talk about the tactics for you to use to help with your faculty meetings. And if there's some comments you need to make, let me know the comments so that we can look at those at the end of the broadcast. All right, it is time. We're live, and I want to say welcome to Principles on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. So let's talk about something that was a barrier to me as a new principal, and that is we're going to be talking about timely tactics, the do's and the don'ts of faculty meeting scheduling. Now, when I became a new principal, I would have my faculty meetings because, being a new principal is like being a teacher. You taught the way you saw other people teaching you, or the way that was comfortable for you. So as the principal, I decided that I would just go on and do what I had seen my other principals do. And that was, with your faculty meetings. So how often do you have faculty meetings? You do know that our faculty meetings are not necessary. And I realized that because I was having my faculty meetings every Thursday at the same time. And my secretary told me, she said, Dr. Pope, they keep complaining. She said, because some of them, didn't know we were going to have faculty meeting, and they did something else. So I said, well, okay, Felicia, then I'm gonna stop having all those faculty meetings. And so I just scheduled the faculty meetings when I thought they were needed, or when I got something from central administration, or we were getting ready to test, or there was going to be some type of new innovation or some type of directive, and then I would call the teachers, and that worked for me. But as the principal of a school where you are developing the culture of the campus, when you are trying to keep your teachers, where your teachers don't leave, where you want to become a principal on the come up, you're going to have to do some things that are different from what you have seen in the past. You're going to have to be a risk taker. I mean, if you sincerely want to change that school, if you sincerely want to turn that school around, then you are going to have to not do what you see everybody else doing. We're in an environment where we're looking at test data, we're looking at scores, and we're seeing that our scores in our urban schools and our rural schools are lower than the schools that are in our neighborhoods, that are more affluent. You're going to have to do something different. So when it comes to faculty meetings, that may not seem like a big thing, but having a faculty meeting is a big thing. It's a big thing, first of all, because you need to keep your people in the loop. They need to know what's going on. They need to be able to say out loud in the group just, what they feel about a certain situation. The other reason is that you don't want to be wasting people's time. If you want to show that you respect the people on your campus, then you cannot be wasting their time. You want to show that I respect your time and I'm going to do some things so that you can plan in advance so you can be prepared for a faculty meeting and have that faculty meeting to be one that is genuine, one that gets the job done, and one that doesn't mess with your schedule. So, when I would have those faculty meetings, I find out that central administration is going to do something different. So I would call a faculty meeting. I walk into a faculty meeting and I look around the room and I said, well, where is everybody? So I asked my assistant principal, well, where's Miss Jones? Where's Miss Mariah? I mean, where are they? And we go on and we have our faculty meetings. And then the next day, I'm checking the list. These people didn't even sign in. So I'm finding out these are the excuses. They say, well, I didn't know we were having a faculty meeting this week. So I went and I did something else. I scheduled a doctor's appointment because, I didn't know we were having a faculty meeting. Or I scheduled a practice today because, I didn't think we were going to have a faculty meeting. So scheduling your faculty meetings is a delicate balance between keeping your faculty in the loop and not wasting their time. Maya Angelou said, try to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. I mean, the teachers see a faculty meeting as a cloud. So try to be a rainbow in somebody's cloud. So what we're going to talk about is ways for you to implement your faculty meeting schedule. The first is you're going to have a soft hold system. Now, what does that mean? That means that you're going to reserve the usual time slot for your weekly faculty meeting, but you are going to label it as a soft hold on your shared calendars. Now, you should have a faculty meeting scheduled for every Thursday or every Tuesday of the school year. And that should be something that is on everybody's calendar. But it's going to be listed as a soft hold so that teachers can tentatively plan around this time, but they'll know also that it's subject to cancellation. So in order to make your soft hold work, here is what you do. You send a confirmation or a cancellation notice at least 48 hours, that's 2 days, principals, 48 hours before the scheduled meeting. So that lets them know a couple of days in advance that we are not having faculty meeting on Thursday. So teachers can plan their after-school activities around the soft hold. They can also gain some flexibility because they have a soft hold and you've let them know in advance. And letting people know in advance means that you have to have your planning tight as well. And if you don't have your planning tight as well, don't violate that soft hold. If you want to make a change in that school, if you were sent to that school to turn that school around, then you're going to have to do things differently. Refer to your team. Have your team there to make sure your team is there to support you, to say, oh, we have to let our teachers know 48 hours in advance whether we're going to have a faculty meeting or not. So do that. The second thing that you can do is to utilize what's called digital communication platforms for minor updates. So for smaller updates or announcements that don't require full meeting, use an email, newsletter, some type of school communication app. Send a message to them like, this week's meeting is canceled, but there are some important updates for you to read at your convenience. So there were some things that, were really important, but it wasn't enough for you to call people in face-to-face to have the meeting. So having this digital platform that ensures that your teachers are still engaged, but you're not requiring them to come there physically or attend an unnecessary meeting. So, some of your loyal teachers will show up and they knew that meeting was unnecessary. And they will tell each other, they won't tell you, or they will grumble to the assistant principal that that meeting was unnecessary. So use the platform. And the third thing is that you establish a clear communication protocol for meeting status. So create a consistent policy around how and when the status of each meeting will be confirmed or canceled. So use that 48-hour notice. Make sure that those dates that you have scheduled for your faculty meetings are on your calendar, but they are soft dates. They're soft. So that means that at any time, within 48 hours, your teachers are going to know whether we're going to have a face-to-face or whether you're just going to send an email or you send a newsletter. So when you have this kind of consistent communication protocol, that removes all the uncertainty surrounding your meeting status. Teachers will know exactly when to check their emails or messages to confirm whether they need to attend the meeting, or they know that they can reclaim that time for whatever after school activities that they need to do. So by adopting one or more of these approaches, you as the principal can maintain a schedule consistency that helps teachers plan their time while also giving them back their valuable hours when meetings turned out to be unnecessary. Remember, Maya Angelou says, try to be a rainbow as someone else's cloud. So as you are forming your winning teams, as you, the new or returning principal of this school, that you may have made your A, B, or C ranking up from an F ranking, and I say hallelujah, congratulations to you. But you're still in the midst of forming a winning team when it comes to your faculty meetings, and that's just not a casual endeavor. That has to be a purpose. That has to be a deliberate process. So these steps that I just went over with you, these can serve as a roadmap to guide you through a part of your transformation, a part of your journey, so that your teachers recommend your school to their friends with something as simple as, this is how we handle our faculty meetings. Our principal recognizes that all of our time is so important. And when we do have that time after school, we don't want it to be interrupted for nothing, or have people to show up face to face in a faculty meeting and walk out of the room and say, this could have been a memo. They could have sent an email for this. This was a waste of time. You do not get people to want to stay at your school by wasting their time. And talking about wasting your time. If you want some ways to not waste your time, then call me. Or better still, don't call me. You just sit and you just look at this, every week, and you say, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And then you turn around and you do the same old thing. Don't call me. Don't call me if that's all you want to do. Don't call me if you are afraid to step out of the box. Don't call me. Don't call me if you don't want to transform your school. If you don't want to do something different. If you think that status quo is good for you, then I'm not the one for you to call. But if you want to see some changes in your culture, some changes in your score, some changes in your data, some changes in having teachers to recommend your school and having your school to excel in academics, then call me. I'm your person. But if you just want to spend time, just watching videos and say, oh yeah, that's a nice idea. Oh no, we couldn't do that. Oh, I can't do that. I might lose my job. I can't do that. Parents will report me if I do that. Well, stay in the status quo, because that's where you belong. You don't belong as a principal on the come up. You belong as a principal who's status quo. That's if that's what you want, then don't waste your time to call me. But if you do decide to call me, you can look at the bottom of the post, and uh, you can call me at barbaraypoke.com, or you want some more free information. Well, I have a 10-page free handbook that's called How to Sustain Your School Success. Because some of you have been able to come out. You transformed your school after a year's time, but it's a new year. You got some people who were instrumental in making that change, and they're gone. They did so good. They interviewed someplace else. They told about their success, and they're gone. And now you're back to square one with trying to get some people, to understand your vision, your mission, and your core values. And they're gone. So what are you going to do now? So look at that 10-page free handbook, and that will help you answer some questions that you need to answer if you plan to sustain the success that you had last year. And if you're not a member of Principals on the Come Up, then of course we want you to join our Facebook group, Principals on the Come Up. So today we were talking about meetings and how sensitive meetings are, and we talked about ways for you to be able to make some changes, have some timely tactics. We talked about the do's and don'ts of faculty meeting scheduling. It seems like it's something simple, and you say, wow, why didn't I think about that? Well, that's what I do. All right, so we will see you next time on Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. We'll see you next time.